Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the Give Them Lala podcast. It is Lala Kent. I've got my right hand TT here,
Whoop, whoop.
and a very special guest.
Very.
Someone who,
this
if Ram Nation is listening, they're going to be. Is that what they're called, Kelly?
Ramily.
Oh, the Ramily.
The Ramily is what they're called, yes.
I have Kelly Stafford here, and I'm freaking out because let me tell you why. When I was thinking about the direction of the pod and wanting to have people on, especially women, who have gone through fertility journeys, who are, mothers to 4 girls, I was really drawn to that because I thought, holy shit, that could be my future. Give me the window to look into. But you live under a rock more than I do when it comes to what's going on in the world and like pop culture.
Oh yeah, girl. I'm not. I have a podcast myself, and my co-host is very much into the pop culture, but I feel like I'm too busy. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the world, which is horrible to say. I honestly feel like sometimes I really need to dive in just a little bit. So when people are carrying on a conversation, maybe I can
participate.
Yeah, but
You're in good company here.
Okay, good.
I find out things. I'll go to my friends and be like, did you hear? Prime example. I've talked about this before. But I said to my friend, I was like, have you heard of this Army Hammer who has a cannibal fetish? And they're like, that happened 6 months ago. Yes. I'm like, it just popped up on my feed.
Like today. Like recently? I actually knew about that one.
This was a couple years ago, but 6 months had passed since. But I was like, that's me in a nutshell of finding things out after everyone has talked about it. No one cares. And then I've officially entered the chat when no one's there anymore.
I mean, I give you a lot of credit to carry on a full podcast without really knowing what's going on.
We just know the headlines.
I've never thought of
the
that.
Damn headlines. I tell you what, I
headlines.
hate a headline, but that's okay.
You know what? You have a reason to hate a headline. So your co-host for your podcast is called The Morning After with Kelly and Hank.
Yep.
Hank is your husband, your gay husband.
Yep, sure is. He's from Detroit, Michigan, where my husband and I spent 12 years. He was my only friend in Michigan, basically. So we got really tight. He got married, now recently divorced, and has a little girl through adoption.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. How old is the little girl?
She just turned 6. She's 5 or 6.
Okay, cute age.
Yes, and got
Super
her since very little, and honestly meant to be his daughter because she has his mannerisms all over the place. Yes.
Isn't that so wild?
It is crazy to see. I mean, she doesn't shut up, which is very much Hank, and I love him so much for that. But just everything she does, you just see him in her, which is wild.
That makes me so thrilled.
Yeah.
I don't know what higher power you believe in, but when it comes to adoption, I have people who are close to me who have children through adoption, and it is so crazy because I'm literally, these are not biologically your parents, and you look so much like them. You have personality traits. It's just this was intended by God.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always tell him, I was
amazing.
this little girl was meant to be yours.
So is he still in Detroit then?
He's still in Detroit, yeah.
You guys record via Zoom?
Yeah, remote.
How does that, do you like that?
No, I don't. I'm trying to get him to move here, but he's pretty settled. He's born and raised in Michigan, so he's pretty settled there.
Well, the headlines are you're pretty settled in LA for a minute now.
Let's go. Excited. Thank goodness.
Are you?
Oh, yes. I really am. That was, obviously what I wanted all along and my husband wanted all along. We didn't want to leave. He loves the Rams. So we're just pumped that, 1, we're here, and 2, it's over. Because
I want to ask you, the mental stress that you went through until the signing and how you felt after he signed.
Oh, God. The relief I felt was pretty unreal. You wake up every morning, there's a new headline. We just talked about
bringing up the headlines.
Yeah, there's a new headline of what rumor, what source is saying my husband's going to be traded here, my husband's going to be traded there, my husband's going to stay. Every day it was something different. And obviously we have 4 girls.
Yeah.
I would say if I didn't have those 4 girls, maybe the stress would have been a little less, and I'd have been like, "Ooh, okay, whatever."
Yeah.
But having those little girls, you have to try to plan ahead. But
because you got to uproot.
Yeah, well, with this situation, you can't really plan ahead. And this is what happens in the NFL a lot that people don't understand. Guys get traded randomly, guys get cut. And these families are just having to pick up and move immediately, finding schools, finding activities for their kids, finding where to live, where to be that's close to the facility, but also in like a good area. I don't know. It's just, it becomes a lot. And you tend to try to rely on those that are there, but you're new. So even finding those that are there can be tough within like the facility or within the team. So I honestly, I tried to stay away from media, but I was telling you guys earlier, our TVs live on ESPN.
Right, of course.
Even if I turn it on and try to turn it really quickly, it's like,
You can't unsee what you just saw.
You can't unsee it. And we live in a day where like everything comes to our phones. So, I'm getting...
Well, and it's almost reading your mind. So even if you don't want to see it, it's like, I know what you're thinking, so here's everything.
Yes. If you typed in Rams at all in the past year, I felt like you were just fed these headlines.
Right.
So it was tough to live under a rock. I wish I could have for that time period. But honestly, so happy and relieved that we are here to stay.
We're thrilled about it.
Yes, we are.
I mean, again, you get that news and you see how happy your husband is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, let's get some cocktails. Let's celebrate.
Totally.
I am ready to just let loose because holy hell.
Yeah, that's a celebration though.
Of course.
Yes.
How long is he set to be here?
So he's at a 1-year he's old. Yes.
Well, he's playing just as long as he wants to now. Yeah,
Yes.
like his career is
It's
set in
up to
stone.
him.
He's a good Hall of Famer, and
Thank you. It's the 1-year deals are for him because if he wants to decide, when my husband commits to something, he commits. So if he committed to 2 years, even if he couldn't barely, move, he would play that second year.
Right.
Even though it wouldn't be good for him or the team or whatnot. So he felt like 1 year was important and what he could manage and just go by a year by year basis from here on out.
What is old in the NFL?
28.
Yeah, legit.
Really?
I mean, yeah. Quarterbacks obviously can play longer. Quarterbacks, kickers, punters, long snappers.
yeah,
That's
like-
really...
Okay.
You're looking at a 33, 34 retirement, right, usually.
And
right?
that's like a very, very good NFL
Yeah.
career.
Like
Wow.
most people, they play in the league 3 years, 4 years. And
That's-
then,
yeah.
you get the new dude out of college. It's a revolving door. Like, what's that show on Hard Knocks?
Hard Knocks, yeah. I
Like,
used to
if
see
you
it.
haven't seen Hard
Wow.
Knocks, that's
I've
a
seen
really
Hard
good
Knocks.
look into how hellish that
Yeah.
life can be.
And that's
Grueling.
like, if you don't put you don't put the effort forward, someone's ready to take your spot real quick.
Of course.
So, I mean, in this league, and yes, so he is, I don't like to say, I'm going to say older. I'm going to rephrase it. He's
Okay.
older in
He's
this league.
older.
Yes. So,
Still playing like a champ. I was watching, because Easton had it on the TV, the combine, and you're right. I was watching how many players were there just like showing their stuff off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is a lot of people to be doing this. And I can't imagine that there's that many people retiring. It was just wild. I'm not great at math, but I was doing the math and it wasn't mathing.
yeah, I got it. I would say there's not many people retiring, but there are people that are phased out.
There it is.
Yeah. And that's just the way the NFL works. That's every professional sport.
Yeah.
Can I tell you guys how much I am loving my hair right now? I never thought that I would ever feel this way. I mean, 2 pregnancies and all the hormones that come along with that, plus years of bleaching my hair, it has really done a number on it. But thanks to Nutrafol, my hair is looking and feeling healthier and fuller than ever, and I am completely obsessed. I'm actually back on Nutrafol postpartum. Ever since Sosa was born, I take 2 capsules at night with dinner, and if you've seen my Instagram lately, you've seen the results. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people, and I am one of them. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. Everyone's root causes of hair thinning are different, so a one-size-fits-all approach to your hair is definitely not going to cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to help give your hair what it needs to grow throughout different stages, like postpartum, menopause, and even different lifestyles like plant-based diets. You can purchase online, there's no prescription required. Nutrafol has automated deliveries and free shipping, which makes it so easy for me. I know you'll love that part too. So start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter my promo code LALA10. Find out why over 4,500 professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code LALA10. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code LALA10.
When did you and Matthew get together?
We got together. We met right before I started my freshman year of college.
Oh, wow. And where'd you go to school?
We both went to University of Georgia. So that's where I was born and raised.
That's a bulldog, right?
That's a bulldog.
Let me tell you, my great uncle wrote all of the books about the rivalries between Georgia and Georgia Tech.
No way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, why? Where did your uncle go?
Georgia.
He went to Georgia.
Yes. And my mother's family, they come from Georgia. So big Southern family, very into football. So
I didn't
I'm going to
know
have to
that.
tell my mom that you're a bulldog.
Wait, are they still in Georgia?
They're still in Georgia. Some of them have trickled into North Carolina, South Carolina,
Okay.
Tennessee. But Georgia is where like every family reunion is held.
Did you grow up in Georgia?
I did
miss
not.
this? Okay.
No, I grew up in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
My
okay.
mom's dad was in the Army, so she kind of bounced around.
Got it. Okay.
Georgia, then they moved to Japan, all the things. Texas, ended up in Salt Lake. That's where we're from. But everyone has like that cute accent,
I know.
the Southern belle. Okay, so
miss
keep
it.
going.
I
Sorry,
miss
I
it.
didn't mean to go on a tangent.
No. I know. As you're talking about Southern accents, like I feel like I miss mine. The only thing I have left is y'all. And I try
It's
to
a great
really
one.
draw that out, you know.
Y'all.
Whenever I'm like, y'all. And my grandmother always like, where did your Southern accent go? Like, I don't know.
We got to get you back there for a minute to
I
gain
haven't-
it.
It's true. I haven't been back in a while, which I need to get back. But anyways, yes, Matthew and I met at University of Georgia. He played football. I cheered. It was a very college relationship, love, hate, all the way through. And then, you know, at the end of it, turned out we wanted to give it a real shot. So we did, and here we are with 4 girls later.
Oh
know?
my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. It was an interesting dynamic at the beginning, and I've told this story and there were headlines all about it, so I'm not going to tell it again. But you know what? It was everything that happened needed to happen for us to get to where we are today. And I truly believe that. So it was fun. Looking back, it was really fun, and glad it ended up the way it ended up.
You know, that is a tip. I mean, you ended up being the wife of an NFL player. But when you think about that time in anyone's life in a relationship, it is nothing but trying to figure out who you are. Mm-hmm. You're on your own life journey, and it's the most simple thing. Are we willing to evolve together?
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Because honestly, when I went to school, when we were both there, I mean, it was obvious when you're in college, it's the first time you're without your parents. And I was in a very long-term relationship in high school. So that's all I knew. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 6 years. He was great. But long time. And that's kind of what I knew, like relationships and being watched by my parents. And then you go to college and it's like, whoa.
Yeah,
You
This is
know.
pretty great.
Totally.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
No one's watching
But you're
it?
right. Like I was trying to figure out my own way.
Mm-hmm.
And then even before I started school, this boy walked into my life that I wasn't expecting. And I really wasn't expecting to fall for him. But he was so adorable and so witty, very smart, just smart.
Yeah.
And could constantly make me laugh. So I let my guard down a little bit, and thank goodness, because here we are now. So
That
but
makes me thrilled for you.
Thank you.
You know, it is so crazy because in this day and age, I feel like if you did not meet your husband in college or high school, where they know you to your very core before all of the bright and shiny objects entered, it is hard to have a marriage last that long. I look at my parents, they were together for 40 years. The reason it ended was because my dad died.
So sorry.
He wanted to get out real bad.
He's like, I don't believe in divorce, so I'm fucking out of here.
Fuck. Here we
I'm
go.
totally kidding.
We like
But
good
I'm like,
jokes.
they do not make marriages like that anymore. And I think because so many people are not willing to evolve together.
That's incredible way to put it. I will say too, like my parents have been together since 8th grade.
Wow.
And they are still together. My dad hasn't found his out yet. So they're still together. But it is very true. And I will say, Matthew and marriage is hard. And at the beginning, you know, when I moved up there pretty quickly to Detroit, I actually finished my college up there. I didn't even finish at Georgia, and lived with him for a while to make sure that, one, this would work, and two, that I could handle kind of being the significant other of an NFL quarterback. Because with that, and I've talked about on my podcast, you tend to lose yourself. You know, you're always someone's wife.
Okay.
Or someone's girlfriend or someone's fiance. And you have to be strong enough to kind of work through that. Now, I will say my podcast helped me work through that. But that was 12 years into Matthew's career.
Wow.
Where I felt like I had lost myself at the beginning. I was so young. I think I was 19 when I moved up to Michigan.
Wow, that is very young. That's a baby.
Yeah, and I was trying to be everything that people were telling me to be when it came to an NFL girlfriend, fiance, whatever. And then I became a mom, and all of a sudden that was my title. So it was really good for me, one, to move up there to make sure like this relationship, because we were in college, right? College is fun. Yeah. But when you get to real life, like that's when shit, you know, can get hard. And so moving up there, you know, we had our good times and bad times for sure. And really had to work through, because at one point I remember telling him, you know, you have to make me happy. I'm not happy. And he was like, you can't physically put that solely on me. Like, you have to find your own happiness. And I want to be happy with you, like, you know, but I can't make you happy solely myself. And I remember that conversation very vividly. It was like 2 years into it.
I feel like that would be like taking a bullet, because it would be it's such a fact,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When someone says that to you.
It's so hard to hear, but it's completely right. And again, Matthew is very wise. Like he's just honestly, it's annoying how smart he is and how much shit he knows. I went to nursing school. I was a nurse, and I swear he knows more about health. Like
I'm
the insides
you,
of our body than I do.
Once you're in that league and stuff, you just start obtaining everything, I feel like.
We watch Jeopardy, and they
know everything.
It's so obnoxious.
The quarterback's by far the smartest with like the plays that they have to remember, the cadence of defenses. Like, no, you have to be smart. So
yes, I agree.
It fits, the shoe fits.
Yes, but it's annoying. So it really is. I mean, I love the Wheel of Fortune. That's my game. And then, you know, Jeopardy is his. So, God, we sound old, don't we?
I was just about to say Jeopardy.
You know what?
Matthew Stafford.
I totally relate. I have a home in Palm Springs where I'm like, I'm not paying for cable, but they give you that like free TV where it's just like old games like that. And I was in bed the other night doing a large print word search, watching Jeopardy, and I was like,
oh my!
What the fuck is happening?
I mean,
but it's what true happiness feels like.
I think so. I mean, I don't know. We're happy.
Well, my happiness, I guess. I hate going out.
That's all you want is happiness.
I mean, honestly, we sit down, our girls watch Jeopardy with him, and it's adorable because they go, you know, when he gets it wrong, they let him have it. When he gets it right, you know, they cheer him on. But no, I'm not gonna lie, we feel, now that I just say that out loud, it's pretty old. But no, he's always been really wise. But again, moving up there, I just had to figure it out. And marriage, even when we didn't have kids, we went through our struggles. That was the infertility stuff.
Yeah,
and
I want to talk about that.
I mean, I didn't think we were gonna make it through that. And that was very early on in our marriage.
How many diets have we all tried that are the latest diet crazes? I mean, I'm pretty sure we've all probably tried them all, whether it's keto, paleo, even intermittent fasting. But it's believed that the more you yo-yo diet, the more stubborn your fat gets, and then you're totally screwed. And it's not always about willpower. It might actually be genetics. And the doctors at Sono Bello can help determine if your body's problem areas could be genetic. Wherever you have stubborn diet-resistant fat and inches, Sono Bello's micro-laser fat removal technology can help remove it for good in one comfortable visit. Those stubborn inches around your tummy could be gone. Muffin tops, side fat, gone. Even saggy loose skin, gone permanently. All that's left are the beautiful natural curves you've been hoping to get. Warm weather is almost here, so now is the perfect time to visit Sono Bello and get your goal body in time for swimsuit season. Micro laser fat removal is the permanent solution, and Sonobello doctors are the experts. Schedule your free consultation now, and you'll get their best offer of the season. Sonobello.com/Lala. That's sonobello.com/Lala. Individual results vary. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any condition or disease.
I have never struggled with fertility issues, but people very close to me have. And that is something so personal. And even though like you're in it with your partner, and I don't know if you felt this way, I'm only relaying what women have said to me. You feel like your body is failing you, something that is supposed to happen for a woman. Why isn't it happening? What is going on here where you are not, like, my body is not showing up for me right now? Is that how you felt?
Oh my gosh. We actually had a charity event for a fertility charity last Saturday night. And I got up and spoke and I said, I love that we're starting to talk about it more, because when I went through it, all I could feel was alone and a failure. Like, I just felt like what you said, what your body is naturally supposed to do, wasn't doing.
Yeah.
And when it comes to putting stress on a relationship, all of a sudden you are trying to figure out when you're ovulating. Then you're basically scheduling sex. I mean, there is nothing worse in a marriage than having to do that, because then to be honest, I think the men just feel like they're getting used
Right.
for that moment. And when it doesn't work, all the emotions for the woman are there. And I just feel like you don't want to talk because everything relays back to that with your husband. When you start talking, you sit down, you're talking about football, and all of a sudden we're back into, well, we might have to have sex next week, like at this day, at this time. And everything just goes back to it. And it just starts drowning both of you. And so, and then when you actually go through the process, everyone's doing what they need to do when it comes to, like, he has to go to the clinic and give his sample and all these things. And it just becomes, it surrounds you, and it's everything you think and everything you talk about. And so then you don't really like have anything else to just, like, I don't know. It just really for us, it was really hard because he had football and I had my infertility journey. And that's kind of where we lied for a year and a half, 2 years.
Wow.
And so that was, again, that was really, really tough on the marriage. And we were very newly married. I knew I was going to have issues going into it, though.
Okay.
I was aware of that. And so,
But I think even then,
yeah,
you sit there and you pray for the miracle.
one miracle.
Mm-hmm.
One miracle. It just takes one time.
One time.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen.
So then at what point in time did you say, we're going to take some air out of the tires and let's go the IVF route? How long had it been of you guys trying?
It had been me tracking my ovulation, because that's when I consider, like, really trying.
Okay.
About a year and a half. So
It's a long time to wait for a baby. It feels like an eternity, I can imagine.
Like, I mean, every month you're getting that negative, like you just have your, sorry, brother.
He's in a house full of women.
Right,
So.
Okay, yeah. So
You're used
so
to
then,
it.
like, every month you're feeling, again, like a failure. So a year and a half feels like a very long time. And I know there's people that go way longer, and there's the financial burden. And luckily for Matthew and I, we didn't have to consider that part. And I couldn't
Right.
imagine having that stress on top of everything else.
Well, that's the other thing, is sometimes IVF is your only option to having a larger chance of getting pregnant. But IVF, let's be honest, that is a luxury to
Yes,
be
it
able
is.
to afford something like that.
Yes, it is.
So this fundraiser that you had over the weekend, what was that for?
So they're actually a company based out of Michigan, but they wanted to have legs in California. So we did a gala. I don't know which one it is.
I don't either.
Okay, great. Perfect. So we did one of those on Saturday to raise money for people in actually California to get grants to go through infertility services. So
Wow.
anything you could think of, IVF, IUI, surrogacy, so like acupuncture supposedly is like this new and
I love acupuncture
Yeah,
and I'm a
so-
firm believer in it.
okay, so there you go. So it just covers like a broad base of things, but
That is so incredible that you guys did that.
Oh, thank you. It was, I am not the founder of this. I'm the board chair, but she Lauren is the founder, and she's incredible.
Amazing.
So we raised a good amount of money and hoping, that, and it's fun to see the babies. We call them chosen babies because the charity is called Chosen Fertility. So we call them chosen babies, and it's pretty awesome to see these families that finally have the dream
little
of have a
peanut.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
My second, again, I did not have fertility issues. My second baby was brought into the world, conceived via IUI.
Oh, really?
She was.
Okay.
Yes. So I went the donor route for my second baby because I was
How
so
was that?
traumatized. The fertility clinic that I went to, they're used to people coming in and either having fertility issues or it's same-sex couples that are getting a donor, a surrogate.
Yeah.
And so they still put me through all of the things that they put a woman who's struggling with fertility.
Okay.
All the testing, going in, sorry, Easton, doing the cervix thing.
Yep.
He knows way more than he probably wants to know, but he is the best uncle. We have a lot of co-parents
we just
in the
pass some
house.
kids around. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Take
That's
it. Take it.
Honestly, it's the best. It's
No,
the
it
best.
It
really
is the
is.
best.
Yeah, like I am very jealous of that. None of my family lives near me, so
Yeah,
but
no, there's times where like I'm just in the ADU and I'm like, I miss those peanuts. So I'll just walk over and I'll just grab one and go and hang out.
A lot
it's
of
great.
fun,
I
a lot
love
of
that.
chaos.
A lot of
it's fun for you.
But yes, I did the whole
Okay.
the whole bit that people that or women that struggle with fertility. So I think that is so incredible because it seems to me to be a larger amount of women every single year that are like, I need to talk about this, and I can't imagine. I love that the conversation is being open because, like you said, I feel like it would be so isolating.
It really is. And I truly love that it's become less of a taboo subject because I think the statistics like 1 in 6 couples experience infertility. So it is something that surrounds us. And I feel like the more we talk about it, the more it allows people to open up about it. And it's not so isolating.
Right. You have
Yeah.
someone that you can reach out to and know exactly what you're going through.
You guys, I went a little buck wild at Fenty Beauty over the weekend, but I do not feel bad about it because I used Rakuten and earned cash back on my Fenty haul. Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. What are you shopping for? Fashion, beauty, electronics, maybe home essentials? What about dining and concert tickets? Yep, download the Rakuten app and earn cash back on all of those things and more. Stores like Sephora and Bloomingdale's and even Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers, and Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. And that cash back is deposited directly into your PayPal account. Or if you're like me and not the most tech savvy, Rakuten will send you a check. You can even maximize your savings by stacking cash back on top of other deals like store sales and coupons. So that's what I did. Fenty Beauty was already having a sale, so I got sale prices and cash back. Cha-ching. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and it's really easy to sign up. I am perfect proof of that. So get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Did you intend to have twins, or was it
So-
like we're going for it?
This is a crazy thing. Our doctor told us we'd have a better chance with 2, which obviously there is a better chance. There's also a lot of reasons they won't do that because you're immediately at high risk pregnancy if you have twins, and there's more complications. And if you're really wanting a baby, sometimes carrying one is way safer and way easier. So we put 2 in due to some things that were going on with me. And so we were aware that we could get twins. Now, the way we got twins was not how we expected. We walked in and the doctor was like, "So Matthew, like, what do you what do you think you'll see in here?" He's like, "I mean, I hope a baby. I don't know." He's like, "Well, you have twins," which like, again, at this point, we're just ecstatic that there's baby. I mean, now there's 2.
Totally.
And I remember him like kind of going closer, and then it made me nervous. He was kind of like trying to see, and I was like, "Oh God!" And he was like, "Well, you know what? These actually look identical.
Shut
so
the
let
front
me
door.
Look to see if the third of the other baby took." And I was like, in my nursing state, going, go back to the monodi twins. What does this mean? And it meant that one of the eggs that had taken had split.
Okay.
And so that gave me the identicals. And then there was a chance that that other egg took and that would give me triplets. Now, I always say this, that was my boy. My boy was like, I'm out of here. Like that one didn't take. They're gone. I don't know that. I didn't know the sexes when I put them in, but in my mind, I'm going, yeah, that was the boy.
I like where your head's at.
Yeah. So
That feels comforting to me.
yeah.
He was like,
I
this
want
seems like a lot.
no.
I'm going to let you guys take this
have
one.
fun.
Yes. Yeah. So it was, we weren't expecting anything, but we did know there was a chance that we could have twins. We just didn't think we'd have identical twins.
That is crazy to me.
It is crazy, and it's crazy now to look at them. And honestly, I'm talking to one, and I'm like, Chandler, you got to do this, and she'll stop. And she goes, I'm Sawyer, and I'm like, ah.
Oh, really? You get them
Whichever
mixed
one-
up?
I mean, they go through phases, and
Yeah.
I cut one's hair really short
So you can-
for the teacher's sake, and honestly for my sake. I say it for the teachers. I mean, I say it's for everybody's sake. But they go through stages, and over the past year, they were kind of looking different, and now over the last 3 months, they have turned a corner to where everyone is struggling
Okay.
to tell them apart.
That is my dream, to be an identical twin
I would love that.
and make
Sister.
everyone so confused.
I mean, to be honest, I told them, I said, listen, if one is good in math and one is good in English, mommy's not going to hate if you just switch for that class. You know what I
Totally
mean?
fine.
Totally. Like, if you're not good in math, guess what? You're not going to have a career in math. So why are we going to deal with that?
Oh, I really love the way you parent.
You're a great
I
mom.
love you, yeah.
Thank you. You know what? I'll take that. Thanks so much.
Excellent. How did you come up with the names?
Chandler, the twins are Chandler and Sawyer. So Chandler's my brother's name. I told y'all we were very close.
I
love
love
that.
this.
Yes, so that is my brother's name. Sawyer, Matthew came up with, and it was the first one that I liked that he came up with, so we did that.
Do you have one that you can give us that you were like, that he came up with that you were like, not happening?
Ooh, you know what? God, it was so long ago. He liked really girly names, and I will tell it. Well, I've told it, but I thought I was gonna be a boy mom.
Okay.
All boys, and so I was very much into the gender neutral names.
Love it. I love the names.
Yes. So and then Hunter was our third, and always loved the name Hunter for a girl.
I
love
love
that.
it.
I never met like a not fun or unattractive Hunter.
No, it's very,
Yeah.
Like
it's
just
so good.
You know what I mean? And then my last one, Tyler, she was named after a cousin of mine.
That is so cute. So did you have these names picked out, ready to go, whether it's a boy or a girl, this is happening?
Yeah. So we didn't know with Tyler what she was.
Oh, you got surprised?
We got surprised.
How
And
hard was that?
you
to
know
not
what?
find out?
It was hard, but when you have 3 running around, I mean,
forget
Time
about
goes
it.
by fast.
time goes by. And then when she
You're like,
came
I
out,
couldn't fit that doctor's appointment in anyway.
and she came out, and I had the same staff for every single one of my C-sections. I had to have C-sections for each one, but same staff, same nurses, same doctor, same pre-nurse, post-nurse.
Wow.
Yes, one of my nurses came out of retirement. The post, what's it called? This is where the nursing comes in. I don't even remember what it's called.
Where's
But after
Matthew?
If
you
only
have your-
Matthew were here,
Yes,
right?
exactly. He would know. Whatever it is, whatever you have after you have your baby and you're in the hospital for a few days, that nurse actually came out of retirement and to do our last baby,
Wow.
which was very sweet. I mean, it was Michigan. You know, sports are a very big deal there. So
Okay.
it was amazing. We had amazing experiences.
Yeah, but it says a lot about you guys for her to come out of retirement.
Oh,
Yeah,
if she-
even
guys-
if you
guys
love
sucked,
something,
she
if
would've been
someone's not nice, you're like,
retired.
I don't care.
Well, I appreciate it, but she was fantastic. I was so relieved when she said that she would come back. But I will say, Tyler, they pulled her out and they're like, "Do you want to know?" And I was like, "Well, obviously now I want to
yeah,
know."
I need to know.
And they're like, "It's a girl." She's like, "Yay!"
What was
was
Matthew's
Matthew
face
doing?
like?
Matthew wanted all girls.
What?
Really?
He did not want a boy.
Oh,
What was the
wow.
reason?
That was one of a tension in our marriage. I was like, I want all boys, and he did not want one boy. So he also didn't really want 4 kids, but here we are. So there's that. You
Why
know
does
what?
he want boys?
He just knows. And honestly, now that we have been parenting for this long and they're in sports, and how crazy parents are in sports, including myself. So I can't not. I mean, I'm competitive, so there's that. But a boy would have a lot of pressure. to live like
It's like living under a name.
yeah.
And that you're expected of
No,
a lot of
and even if
things.
he didn't want to play sports, they'd still be like, "Wait, you're Stafford's kid, and you play the piano."
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
I totally get that.
So, and I, even before I was like, "Well, you don't need to worry because he's going to be more athletic than you, anyways, because he's half of me."
Totally.
And he goes, and here's the pressure already. The child isn't even in existence, and you're like, "Don't worry, he's going to be more athletic." He's like, "What if he doesn't want to be an athlete?" I was like, "He'll want to be an athlete." So
make him.
there,
Yeah.
See this is me, and so immediately I started to see, especially now with my kids, knowing what I know when it comes to girls' sports, and they're 7. The oldest are 7, and it is
Is it
I feel
intense?
like-
it is so intense. It is beyond intense.
What do they play?
They do gymnastics right now. They do competitive gymnastics, which soccer, basketball, and tennis.
Oh, they are booked and busy.
Well, and you split it up per season.
Totally.
But most kids don't now. They
No, they're
pick
just-
a sport and they do year round.
Year round. That's a lot.
Yeah, and so now I told Matthew, I was like, I feel like our kids are behind in every sport because each sport we go to, these kids have been just playing it. If we had a boy, I don't know how I would handle that. So I just think, I would want to have him specialize, which I don't love in kids sports. Like, kids should be able to figure it out on their own.
On their own,
take
totally.
their time to see if they even like sports and what sport they might like. And so it's a massive blessing that we did not have a boy. Massive. Like, I thank God every day for that.
Because I was thinking Matthew was the one that was like, somebody standing and peeing with me, please.
Oh, no, he loves the
yeah.
girls. He loves being a girl dad.
He's like Kobe.
Yeah, and
See?
that's
Go,
like
Dad.
that's really sweet of you to say. But he, it is something that he was meant to be too. I don't think he was meant to father a boy, and I definitely don't think I was meant to father a boy now that mother a boy. Definitely not father a boy.
I
but
totally
mother a
knew
boy
what you
now.
meant.
Yeah.
Also I feel like it's hard just seeing men in sports when they have sons who get to that age where they're about to be drafted. And even if they are good, they always get that, well, I don't know that he would have made it if he weren't so-and-so's
Yeah.
son.
He had a
There's
leg up.
there's literally not one aspect where there's not something that comes into question.
Yeah.
It's like nepotism in the sports world.
100%. It exists. It's alive and well.
Yeah.
What sports do they prefer? Like, are the twins into the soccer most, the gymnastics?
That's pretty good. So the twins love soccer and basketball, which is good because they have a little, like, I can tell with their they're more their dad's side. They're gonna have height.
Nice.
Yeah. So and they want to try volleyball, which I would love. But the 2 younger ones, I think, are more my side. And they, they love gymnastics.
That freaks me out. My daughter
Freaks
loves
me out.
gymnastics. You were a cheerleader.
I
So
was.
what were you, top of the pyramid?
I
doing
was.
flips?
I was. But
No.
you know why it freaks me out? Everything's changed so drastically that, like, it scares me for gymnastics, dance, cheer, for, like, overall confidence in what they look like
Got
and
it.
what their bodies look like. And with the pressure we have from social media, I just fear that I don't know. I wouldn't be strong enough. I'm still not strong enough to handle all the criticism that gets thrown my way. But to be young and in those type of sports, you get criticism by just, like, showing up and you're in a leotard and you look different than, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
So, like, I tend to want to get them out of that. In fact, that's, like, my threat because they love it so much. It's my threat when they're not doing so. I'm like, all right, we're done. Gymnastics is over. Like, we're done.
A solid threat is a part of surviving as a parent, by the way.
Listen, I'm not beneath a threat. Okay?
Me either.
I'm really, or bribing. Not beneath any of those.
Oh, I'm a
The
good
two-
driver.
You're an uncle.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you're a briber.
Of course.
Knocking off.
And then I tell
No,
them.
I mean, it's great. Good for you. I'm
Throw
jealous.
me under the bus too much.
I know you're a briber, and I tell them, just like I tell my mom, because we all live together. She's like, I'm giving her this because I'm her Gigi. I'm like, it doesn't work when you're with her every day. That card can only come into play when you see them,
Once a
week, once a month, because grandma lives in a different state. Not every day.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That would make me a little upset. My grandparents, or their grandparents, my parents, and Matthew's parents don't live anywhere close. Dallas and Atlanta. So whenever they come in town, they are They were in town last weekend for this event. Saturday, my dad got them donuts in the morning, took them for chocolate chip pancakes for lunch. And then when they got home, he was like, well, we're going to have some ice cream sundaes. I was like,
Oh, I like this family.
oh my God.
I'm in.
I mean, he goes,
Coming
well,
over.
once you sugar them up, then they crash. I'm like, that's not how it works anymore.
Not at all.
That is-
By the way, your dad sounds like my baby daddy. I'm like,
Okay.
can we not with Ocean? Please, let's have a fruit. Say it with me, fruit, people.
I mean, okay, well, there you go. Now you know. Now you know who my dad is. So
I totally get it. By the
Yeah.
way, so fun.
But you know what? It's great. I do let him, for the most part, do it. But I can see my husband just churning in the background, like pissed off.
Oh,
Knowing
of
that
course.
whatever he says won't be
Oh.
heard anyway,
No,
so I might
and-
as well just walk around.
Exactly.
Peace.
And knowing that even if Matthew's like, hey, Jay, do you mind not feeding them candy? It's going to happen anyways. Like, it's just going to happen.
He's like, just one more. That's everyone's favorite thing to say to me is just one more. I'm like, it would work if like she had 4 and we could round it up to like the 5. But when she's had, 15 cookies, just one more ain't gonna
No.
fly. We're
No.
done.
Give Them Lala is sponsored by BetterHelp. Who's your support system? For me, it's my family and friends. They've always got time to listen and help me understand my situation better. In a society that glorifies hyper-independence, it's easy to forget that we're all better when we have a support system behind us. Therapy can be a source of support for any area of your life. Therapy from BetterHelp is so helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those who have experienced major trauma. Therapy is beneficial for everyone. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties and easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GTL to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/GTL. BetterHelp.com/GTL.
What's your stance on social media with your kids?
As in, like, posting them or as in then getting one?
You know what? Both. Where are you at with posting, and then where are you at with them having social media?
You know what? I need to do a better job of probably not posting them. I've kind of taken a step back because this is my life. Like, this is all I do.
Right.
I'm a mom and I go to football games. So there's
Totally.
that. So that's kind of what I post. But you know what? They were sick over the playoffs this last year, and when they went back to school, they're like, Mom, how did all of our friends know we were sick? And I was like, well, I'm not expecting their friends to be on social media. Does
Their
that make
parents, maybe.
their
Yes.
parents
Yeah.
Well,
doing
I
it
think
back?
some of them have social media.
And follow you.
Oh, some of the
Yeah.
kids do?
Yes, already. They do.
How old?
But your
They're
oldest are
7 and 8.
That's
7 and 8.
Yeah, no.
8's more their grade, but
I don't like that.
no, it's way too early.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I just have to. I truly need to take a step back and kind of figure out what that looks like. I've told myself after we figured everything out that I would maybe do that. But with social media with them, I'm hoping, praying somehow it is either not banned, but like they really do put this age limit on it.
I do too.
Because it is gonna. I don't think you can stop it. Now, Matthew and I already talked about just doing like the flip phones. Where
Totally.
You have,
Yeah, like
Just
a
like
Go
a,
phone.
like
5
just like
numbers,
mom's
you're good.
number, dad's
Yes,
number.
Yeah, where you can group text your friends or whatever, but
Oh, okay.
Safari and internet,
No
internet and stuff like that is not available. So it's like, yes, you can still be in the group chats with your friends because I feel like that's what everyone tells me. The downside of not giving your kid a phone is that they tend to get left out of things. Now, I don't mind that. I have 4 daughters, so I'm like, if you get left out, you got 3 friends at home. I don't
So
really
fun.
care. Yeah. But at the same time, like, eventually they're going to have to, like, when they start driving and stuff, we're going to have to know where they are and stuff like that. But we had talked about, and I'm really hoping this generation, you know how, like, what is it, generation, what's the one underneath us? I don't know how old you are.
I'm a millennial.
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like they hate trends, or they hate, like, I feel like it's just getting more and more where I'm hoping they'll want to be closed off more. Like, they won't be as open, this
Totally.
generation. They
So
learn.
trendy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like trendy to be like incognito, or like no
Yeah.
one knows much about me.
It is. Also, what's in is not drinking, which I freaking love. I hope that stays
Oh, God.
for
I'm
when my kids.
bad at that. Oh.
Oh, you do,
For the
you, Boo.
kids.
But for
Yeah,
the
you
kids,
do.
my biggest fear is I sit there and I'm watching these these kids in junior high and high school, and I'm like, this is very much the time that they start experimenting, going to their friend's house, maybe smoking a joint.
Yeah.
Maybe
What are they
Getting
doing
into
instead?
the parents' liquor cabinet.
they're saying that they don't need to drink.
They're so
They
healthy.
want to go. They're very into health, and I'm like, let's keep that.
That's great.
Because Easton and I are in the program. So there's no telling if one of my girls picks up, you may have earned yourself a one-way ticket into an AA room.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. Both of
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Both of us.
Okay. And how long are y'all sober for?
I've been
You don't mind
sober
me
for
asking,
over
sorry.
no, not at all. I've been sober for over 6 years.
Oh, wow.
And I'm in 7 months right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations to both of you.
Well, thank
Thank you.
you.
That's really impressive.
Well, thank you for
It's,
saying that.
Yeah.
You know,
that
I
means a
just
lot.
No, I mean, I have family members that struggle with addiction, so I
by
know
the
how
way-
hard it can be.
it's been great actually. Like drinking, when I think about it, takes me to a pretty dark place because
Yeah.
I really started hitting the bottle hard. Same with Easton once our dad died.
Okay.
So that part is fine, but I think about like, okay, when my kids get to that point in time, I have to be very open with them, right? If you're going to drink, there is no version of you driving, getting in the car with someone. Call me. I will ask 0 questions.
Yeah.
Not one
text me.
question. Just pick up the phone. I will be there. You don't have to say a thing to me.
Yeah.
So trying to allow them to have open dialogue with you, which is, I think, what keeps me up at night. And my kids are only, Ocean turns 4 next weekend.
Oh, yay.
So still babies.
Yeah.
Sosa's only 6 months.
Oh, what? Real baby.
The real baby.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Real new.
Wow.
But I'm like, these are the things that keep me up. When do I allow my kid to have social media? I don't freaking know.
No, I have no idea. I'm hoping it's gone somehow. I don't know.
Just like shuts down.
Well, you don't know with the way things trend in these days and how fast new things are made or whatever.
Yeah.
I just feel like by the time they're old enough, it'll be
Hopefully
like
it's
you just
gone.
like blink your eyes and you're on. I don't know. It's
Oh
gonna be
God.
weird.
No, I know.
It's gonna be weird. But I agree with you. We talked about this, but I was the baby. I had a brother and a sister, and by the time my mom and dad got to me, they were just exhausted. And so we had a very open dialogue. It was
Right.
very much like, okay, my parents trusted me to know what's right and what's wrong when it comes to, like, if we went to a party, I would let my parents know, hey, I'm sneaking out. I won't be drinking. I'm going to be the DD. And they're like, okay, just let us know where you're going. And when you're back, let me know.
Totally not a sneak out. You just
it's
leaving
not.
the house.
Hey, I'm sneaking out.
But you want to feel like you're sneaking
Oh, I
out.
did. They would be, out cold. And my dad never knew. My dad never knew until literally probably 5 years ago. He was like, you did what,
Oh,
Leslie?
that's awesome. So you still felt like you were doing something kind of naughty.
Yeah, like I
top
was,
tier mom.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, my mom
Hey.
was badass. So, but I will say, like, I felt like I was a pretty good kid. And that is because I had an open dialogue with my mom
100%.
and could ask her anything I wanted to, and also tell her things that I would feel like most parents or most kids at my age during that time couldn't tell their parents.
Right.
And so our house was always the house to go to, because they were like, oh, your mom's cool. But the reason we were cool with each other is because she trusted me to just make right decisions because we had that open dialogue. Like,
Did you feel like I have open dialogue with my mom? She has shown me that she trusts me. One wrong move, she ain't gonna be so cool.
I did not want to disappoint her. Like she gave me so much trust that I could not disappoint her.
Right.
And that was my mindset whenever we went to parties and I said I was going to be the DD, or whenever, I would make sure that I stuck to that, because I don't know. If you put that much trust in me, and as I'm young too, it means a lot. Like,
Totally.
And so I just didn't want, and you're right. You make one mistake, she pulls those reins back real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So that was, didn't want to disappoint her. Also didn't want the reins pulled back.
Totally. It's always the parents who are so chill. Because I feel like if I end up being that type of parent, when I've given you such a long leash,
Yeah.
retractable as fuck,
Yeah.
and then you do something, I'm going to feel betrayed, and now you're going to witness my wrath.
Yeah.
And that's how I pictured my mom. I'm like, I know my mom. She is so cool. Same with my dad. But if they're this cool, that means they're putting their trust in me. I fuck this up, it's going to be scary at
It's
home.
gonna be bad. Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. I will tell you, this is like in a smaller or in a younger age, I've done this with my 4-year-old. I'm so tired. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I sucked at parenting this one. She is love her so much. Tyler, I love you. But she is probably my worst behaved child because I did not parent her. And I think I got tired. And I think as you get older and your parenting gets tired, you might get a little nicer. And it seems nicer at the time, but she breaks my trust all the time.
Oh,
this child.
no.
And so then she gets, the hammer laid down a little bit.
Right.
But I also blame myself because, God, I was a horrible parent. I just gave her what she wanted. I was like, stop her from crying. You took something. And Chandler's like, it's mine. I'm like, I don't care.
Just let her have
Give it back to her right
Yeah.
now.
Just
And
to keep the waters calm.
I mean, but now she's horrible. So that's my fault. I know she's not horrible, but you know what I mean. She's not my best behaved child.
Yeah, she'll
That's
get there.
fine. You know
Yeah.
what?
She'll
She's
get
the
there.
baby. I feel like even if you did, there's a reason why they say the baby is always kind of the golden child. It's not because they're the golden child. It's because the parents are fucking tired.
Yeah, they seem
Mm-hmm.
easy.
Just give it to her. I don't want to hear the cry.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for my own peace of mind.
That's exactly right. Like at this point, I'm not parenting for you. I'm parenting for me.
100%. And you know, I would like, because I love what you said, if something starts happening outside, like in school, people are left out, it's like you've got 3 more at home. I want to create that. I want to create a football team.
Yeah, girl.
Oh,
What is that, like
Let's do it.
52?
Let's just work on an
53.
offense
That's,
or
that's
something.
really good. 53. That's really good.
Just work on maybe the backfield or something.
What's that mean?
Maybe just like the receivers and the quarterback. That would be
there we
fine.
go.
Are they
That's-
tall?
Yes. Can you be tall?
Are we on the same wavelength now? Now I'm thinking about my next baby daddy.
Yeah, no.
Where I
Wait,
think I
okay,
was-
this is
not
what
on
I
the
want.
same-
Like, do you, when you choose sperm donors, you see all their like statistics?
You do.
Oh, wow.
The
okay.
only thing I opted to not see, which it wasn't even an option for this donor, he didn't release his adult photos to the picker, which I'm the picker.
Got it.
I only saw photos of him as a toddler
Okay.
and then like his first school picture, but everything down to like his favorite color.
Oh, wow.
Then there's the largest genetic testing panel that I had to go through as well as
Damn.
he had to go through.
Okay.
They quarantined them for like 2 weeks before they actually donate. Did you know out of all of the people who decide to donate sperm, only 1% are actually get the green light
Like
to?
valuable?
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that because of genetic testing? Like what they
It's
have
the
in their
genetic
genetics?
testing. It's the they do like drugs and alcohol. They make sure that like you are not into that, but also
Yeah.
family history.
Yeah.
If
okay.
your family history shows that like you don't have the best genes, it can become a kind of sticky situation
Yeah.
if someone picks a sperm donor and something goes wrong,
Oof.
you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
they've got to be very particular.
I will say infertility in general, everything you go through, that's like the most perfect. Like, I think because of what you're saying, you're picking a donor, thing like, but it has to be perfect. It's the only medical field where I think things have to be perfect.
Right.
Like even when we were going through it and they tell you, you know, this embryo is stage what, you know, you have these different stages. And I'm going, I mean, I feel like it's incredibly hard to get pregnant with a healthy baby. But I do think your body, if you do have a unhealthier embryo or whatever that might say, your body kind of corrects it.
Yeah.
But they won't put that in because
No.
they, you know, they don't
can't take
want-
the chance.
They can't take the chance of it.
Right.
But like saying, like you know, I think the first round I had like 19 eggs, and then we got like 11 embryos, which is
That's
crazy.
a lot.
A lot. 4 were
4 were like considered viable.
4 out of the, and I'm going, holy shit! How do people have healthy babies? Like that blows my mind.
You wonder when you hear all of the stories how there's so many fucking people on the planet and who are like functioning, going out and like getting jobs and stuff.
I
It's like,
don't. If you work in an infertility situation or in a clinic, you probably are asking the same thing, like how are there so many functioning humans?
yes. And no matter what scientific jargon you tell me about how a baby is created, no, it is a miracle. Period.
It is.
You can tell me the science behind it. XYM equals baby. No.
No, I agree.
Miracle.
It is. I mean, I feel like God, like it all works out while in utero before, but it blows my mind. It blows. And in fact, Miracle Hunter, our third baby, came very quickly and as a surprise.
I have always heard that happens.
It just like, I don't know.
Do you think it's because the hormones are so like on 10, or do you think the pressure was taken off of you a bit?
I think both, maybe.
Combo?
And I think my body, like, all of a sudden knows what it, like, found out what it was supposed to do. But let me tell you what.
The twins have kick-started that.
That was a wild surprise. And the twins couldn't even sit up. And I'm over here, like, I didn't want to tell Matthew. I was so scared because we are new parents of twins. He's in the middle of the season.
Oh, no.
And I'm just like, and I don't remember if it was a good season or bad season, but Detroit, we can guess. And so
The shade.
no, I mean, they're great now. They're awesome now. And I'm so happy for that town and that organization.
They did do really well,
They're
didn't they?
amazing. They have guys.
They've got
They
guys.
got guys. So anyways, I did tell him, I told him on Christmas because I was like, I don't know when else to tell you this, but.
So here's your gift.
Surprise.
And he looked at me and goes,
You're fucking
are you fucking kidding? And I was like, Merry Christmas. I mean, no, she was great. She was a great baby. That made us go for the 4th because she was fantastic.
Because she was so good.
She was so easy. And I
Just-
thought it was just one. Oh, it's one. It's easy compared to the 2. Oh, hell no. Tyler came out. That bitch was hard. So like that immediately was like, and we're done. Like Hunter was just a good baby, turns out.
Like immediately, tubes tied,
Yes.
vasectomy, we're good over here.
I'm still waiting on the vasectomy.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Get on it, Matthew.
Listen, this has been a 5-year conversation. Not really. 3-year conversation.
What?
He's like,
I
when I
mean,
retire.
He's just lazy. He's not against it. He's just like, well, then I got to take a week off for working out or 2 weeks. I don't remember what it is. I'm like, guys go to work the same day, babe. Like,
Yeah,
you're fine.
Just a quick little snippy. He'll be pumping weights by the next day.
Yeah.
Right?
Meanwhile, he was like, but like, weren't you going to get your tubes tied anyways? I was like, no, not if you get, no, there's no point for me to get my tubes tied if you get a vasectomy. Also, I've been opened up 3 times. It's your turn.
Yeah, I'm tapping out.
I'm out.
This man.
Right?
All right.
Be a man.
No,
Matthew.
but let's
It's
just
not your
talk about
manhood,
this
promise.
before we sign off. This man, most men, all men,
Uh-huh.
they go out, they're being sacked, they're doing X, Y, and Z to just be like, whew, tough, right? We kind of like lean in on them. Like, if shit gets sticky in downtown LA, I got my man with me.
Uh-huh.
We give birth to babies.
Preach.
Mentally, if football were just a mental game, we would fuck shit up. Period.
Agreed.
We're shoving humans out of our twats, all right? He's doing all of these things, and you're asking just for one little snip, and he's like, I just can't do it.
Just one little
He's like,
snip.
That is, I love hearing that because it's just men.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but he's going to practice. He's got clinics
She had
he's
3
already
C-sections.
going to.
They cut through
Well,
8 layers of
I'm
her
just
stomach.
trying to get
This is
Matthew's
true.
back over
Well,
here.
you know what? He's got a lot. He's an
got
old
a
man
lot
in
on
that
that
locker
plate.
room, so he needs that manhood. I
Yeah,
think
he needs
feels
that
like he needs that.
testosterone, you know,
Oh my
until
God.
he.
Well, I will say one
Until he's
thing.
retired.
Yes, you're right. Probably when he retires, we'll do it. But I will say one thing. It's pretty awesome. You watch him out there, and he's a different person on that football field than even I know. Like, they show him in the huddle, and I'm like, whoa.
Who is that
like,
man?
This is, it's turn on.
I was going
Hot.
to say kind of
Super
so
hot.
I'm like, oh, yeah. And then he comes home after a game or after being this manly man in a locker room, and he comes home to these 4 little girls. And he is so tender and so sweet to them. It really is incredible to watch. Like, I love him as a football player, but him as a girl dad is the biggest turn on of all, which is
That-
why
I
he
love
needs to
that.
get snipped. You know what I mean?
That's,
because they're
I can't be. She's like,
Full circle.
I'm tapped out on the turn on. I can't be any more turned on than I am right now.
Yes, agreed.
Let me ask you one more question. What is it like in your household when there is a big game? What is it like for the both of you before the big game? And let's just say he comes home and it's a loss. What does that look like?
Okay, so I will tell you, before the big game, I mean, he is very good at compartmentalizing. I think that has come with age.
Okay.
When we were in Detroit his first few years, it was very much football, even when he was home. Kids do that too. You know, they pull you out of it.
Totally.
So before a big game, I mean, I'll tell you, before the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl was in town, so it made it completely different. Like, he was there until the night before the game, and he wouldn't stay at the hotel, kind of like a normal game. Which
Totally.
Normally, teams are there for a week or so, or 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, staying in hotels and whatnot.
Wow.
But he, he's the most calm, cool, and collected person I know. So before games, it is very normal in our house. I mean, we carry on as if I honestly don't even really remember a time in the past 4 years that it's been, oh yeah, there's a really big game this week and we need to take the stress off of dad or whatever. He's just kind of a normal dad. Now, after the games, big games, loss, it depends on when it is in the season, where their record is. If they're we went 1-4 at the beginning of last season. That was hard.
Okay.
He just felt defeated but had to keep going and lift the guys up a little bit. He had been in these predicaments before. Again, not throwing shade at Detroit, but he'd been there.
Right.
And so I believe he told Sean, he's like, we're gonna win out, or we're gonna make playoffs, and they did. But that first stretch, I remember being like, God, this sucks, because it's just an overall mentality. He's trying to be, a good, positive man in this house, but what is another very important thing to him has not been going well.
Right.
And I will say, if it's a one game and it's kind of or if he played bad.
Okay.
He is very, I will say, the girls have to be around. I want the girls around. They make him take his mind off it immediately.
Yeah.
They don't care about football. They ask Daddy, will you help me draw this? And he'll sit down, and it kind of takes it away from him. He's like, you know what? That is it's my job at the end of the day. That is a job, and this is kind of what's important. And he's like I said, he's really, really good at compartmentalizing that whole thing.
Yeah.
Where in the past, he wasn't. He used to lock himself in the bedroom when they lost. We would
Wow.
have guests in Detroit, and he would just be like, I'm out.
I can't deal.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just sit out here. And
I'll handle this.
yeah. But it has turned a corner. And I will say that's age and due to our children. more than
Yeah.
anything.
But I think it's also a huge testament to how you are as a wife. I think he knows that you are, and I firmly believe this. When you see a happy, healthy, functioning home, of course it's two people, but I believe that it's when a man looks at the worth of his wife or his life partner, mother of his children, because you really have to keep it together for the household, right? You're holding down the kids, even though you may not even know it. You're trying to take pressure off of him because you know where his mind needs to be during the season. I think it's incredible what you do. I'm so happy that you have your podcast because you've got your thing, which I think is very important. I just loved having you on the podcast today.
This was so fun. So
I hope
easy,
you enjoyed
right?
it.
I had a
I had a
great
blast.
time. Yeah. Besides the traffic getting in, I don't know. Besides
the
that, this has been.
worst.
I know.
Are
Where
y'all
is
far?
that?
Are you
We're
guys
in
far?
Sherman Oaks.
Okay.
So not far, but
Not
far
far.
enough. I mean, we had
It's far. I mean, with LA,
Everywhere-
everywhere's far.
Yeah.
Everywhere in LA, whether I want to come here or to the grocery store that's a mile away, 30
far.
minutes,
I know.
plan on it.
I
It's
know.
wild.
Yes, it is. But it totally worth the hour and a half drive. I really enjoyed sitting down
Thank you.
with you guys.
Wow, I had no idea. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
No,
Thank
please.
you.
Yeah,
We
as you
feel
said,
so
30
honored.
minutes. Yeah. It's nothing. Thank you guys.
You guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. We will catch you on Monday for the bonus and then again Wednesday. Bye, y'all. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Did I get all three? I'm getting really good at that.